Hi everybody, as you can see in front of me I've got the admin dashboard. I'm going to add a few more widgets and I'm going to show how you can organise them to how you want. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight over to the add widgets button and I'm going to select the conversion rates. In this case I'm going to use the default storefront and then I'm going to save it. And you can see it's been added there. And then I'm going to do the same for the launchpad, but in this case I only want to show the CMS links. So I'm going to untoggle all the other options. Oops, and click save. It's been added there. And then finally, I'm going to add the recent orders widget. But in this case, I want to show the most recent 10. And there you go, you can see they've all been added, but I want to move stuff around. So I click customise dashboard. And then from here, I'm able to drag and drop content how I want. In this case, I want to move things around a little bit like that. There we go. And then I'm going to move this back up here. And then you can even stretch the size as well, like that, to make things a little bit more easy to read. So yeah, that's everything about the widgets so far. And I'll pass on to Kyle.
Awesome, thank you very much. So our primary focus so far has been to develop a framework for creating and displaying dashboard widgets. The aim of this framework has been to provide a simple API that developers, agencies, and extension vendors can use to create their own widgets, and then merchants can plug those straight into the dashboard. As with all our products, we've strived for simplicity, so there's effectively just two parts to this API. There's setting the widget up and then generating its output. If we take this orders by country widget to give you a quick walkthrough of what the developer experience is like, we can highlight these things a little bit more. So if we start by taking a look at its configuration, we can see the admin has a number of options available. And these are currently split into display properties, which control how the widget looks, and configurable properties, which control how it behaves. In this particular case, we can limit the number of countries, group the remainder, and then filter and qualify the data that this widget is concerned with. So if we jump to the IDE quickly, we can take a look at this API implementation in a little bit more detail. So those two option sets that we saw on the front end, they're powered by a couple of PHP functions. They simply return an array that describes those options. I won't linger on the implementation too much, but you can define things like the input type, the value options, validation rules, and anything else that you might need for the front end. And then the other half of the API, the output generation, that is a third function here for display value. And within this function, you can perform all the logic that you might need to do to provide data to the front end. So that could be database queries or external API calls, whatever it might be. Then the only other thing a developer needs to concern themselves with is registering the widget with Magento. And that's done in the dashboard widget XML file. So here we just define the widget, the class that's responsible for its implementation, and then how we would like that to display. This is the minimally required config for a widget. There are other options, but we'll cover those another time. We will have a number of options for display types out of the box that cover most of the common scenarios, but we do have a custom option here where we can set our own template. And once that's done, the underlying framework will stitch it all together and handle the hard work. And that's pretty much it. There's 2 or 3 files, 2 or 3 functions, and you're ready to go.